Welcome, welcome, one and all, back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode and the main story, the patch story. We're doing 3.2 today. That's right, we're getting back to that main quest line, and since we're doing that, I felt like it was a good time to get back to being a Dragoon again. We had a fun little machinist excursion there, but for the next couple of patches, I think Dragoon feels right. And then maybe it'll be time for a new job. A new adventure. Anyway. Plenty of time before then. Tataru, it has been far, far too long. Alphino, you also. Much as I worry for the future of Ishgard, the fate of our missing friends concerns me even more. We are still missing some friends, aren't we? Tataru is waiting to share good tidings with you and Alphino. Oh, good. My favorite kind of tiding. Alphino, Durman, I've been looking all over for you. We've received news regarding Flamin, Hori Boulder, and Coltene. Really? Has something happened? No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seemed that once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsa. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And if you don't mind being spied on. Quite. But what wonderful news. To think our reunion's close at hand. A pleasure to see you too, Alphino. Ah, Thancred and Kryle. What brings the two of you here? Kryle and I have been looking into how we might track down Minfilia. And we may just have found the answer. Goodness. Good news abounds today. Durman, when you were fleeing Ul'dah with Minfilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it's not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide Minfilia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the ether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found, the battleground where Durman felled the Ultima weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. 'Twas there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield him from the magic I invoked. Kryle and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether therein. The two of you? Alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I'm confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryle while the patrols pass. She is very small. Besides, if you and Durman come along, who will see to Flamin's grand homecoming? When you put it like that, very well, I will trust in your plan. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Minfilia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrades' return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Lominsan docks? I'd be thrilled to. Then I shall see to the four of you at the Rising Stones, or I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels. Oh, exciting. Everyone's slowly reconvening. All right, let's get to Lominsa and maybe into a less toasty set of clothing. I've got enough fashion options available to me now that I can actually start dressing for the weather. This is nice. I like it. Hey, it's been so long, you two. Hello. Ages. If it isn't Durman Durrami. Really, you didn't have to come all this way just for us? But I did. Is that... By the gods, it is you. Well met, Durman, well met. I agree. Glad you three are all doing all right. Oh, Durman. How have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you all every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hanish vessel. It pained us not being there when you needed us most, but we made the most of it, didn't we, Coltonay? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. About that last part. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me. I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. As Thancred must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return and busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty, there is much and more to be done. The Braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Ah, that's the spirit. To the Scions, and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones. I like your new outfit, by the way.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Whew, I have missed that voice acting.
Let us be about our business then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favored me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me, it is true, but not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed.
This was a scene that happened in the very beginning, if I'm not mistaken, of 1.0. If you started in an Ul'dah, I think this was like one of the first scenes you saw. Correct me if I'm wrong, 1.0 players, but yeah, this was an in-game incident.
I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every Scion's. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
I'm so darn attached to the characters in this game now. More than in other Final Fantasies, which isn't really a fair comparison because they don't get they don't get 10 years of expansions like a TV show does to get you that long-term attachment. But still, they have succeeded in getting it here. Especially if you've played all the expansions. But even here, it really did start setting in for me. Anyway, to the Rising Stones. And here we are. Ah, it's great to be back in the toll. Even smells like adventure. I'm glad you're psyched. Home at last. I must make my rounds and see who remains. It feels good to be home again. To think that everyone's waiting for us just beyond those doors. Friends and family with whom we've shared so much. Gods help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Sounds good. I hope there are as many faces in there as you're hoping to see. In we go. By the way, this is neither here nor there and not important for anything. This is a character who you will talk to from time to time if you want to do extra hard versions of the boss fights in this game. They call them like EX trials and ultimate trials, and there's like increasingly challenging versions of all the boss fights in this game, or most of them, which just make the mechanics way more dangerous, add new mechanics on top of the ones that already existed, give the bosses way more health. Just, you really gotta be coordinated and know your stuff. And this is the character you'll talk to do it. And it is also a character who is basically Yoshi P's in-game persona. It's sort of just a version of him in-game, providing you the hard fights. It's very cute. Okay, Rising Stones. So good seeing this place filling out again with people. Familiar names and faces, and new ones. And you okay? First Ochre and now Hori. A passing fancy I could suffer, but this? She's hopeless, utterly hopeless. What? Now I've missed something. Wait, I'm not trying to talk to Colton, I was trying to, okay. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we've settled in, I would join the search. Sounds good. I was trying to talk to people in front of you, though. Huzzah, he's returned! Together, my brother and I shall serve the Scions till the breaking of an 8th dawn. Sounds great. And you? Oh my, decisions. Smitten by both, I see. And you, spurned. Tough break. I'm sorry. Comfort. There'll be others. How are you doing? I heard it all from Elian. So where is she? If I'm to greet the songstress of Ul'dah, I'd do so on my feet. May. To secret oneself in a ship hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we know all too well. When they are well rested, I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there's no need to be shy. Pray grant me a moment longer at least. Though I am happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. I like that we've got folks of like all sizes, ages, just like a really disparate, varied group here. I like that a lot. Hori, how are you doing? Ochre, what in the 7 hells drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, brother? You and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet now that you're here, I sense that you've surpassed me once more. No, don't tell me. You trained with the Hanush, did you not? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves and drunk deep the souls of mine enemies. It's good having these folks back. Not sure if I know you, though. I worry that Ergmus is getting a bit carried away, but I suppose I can overlook it on this occasion. Don't get carried away. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions brings a bloody tear to the eye. You have fun. Vamatia. Don't think I've met you either. Is that the Lady Flamin I've heard so much about? Well, I shall have to introduce myself. I'm wanting to get acquainted with... Sorry, I know these are lots of minor characters I'm stopping to talk to. The thing is, minor characters in our home bases have a habit of becoming more important. Maybe not like major main characters, but like they do come back and they are relevant to things. I mean, like Hori Boulder and Coltonay were around for a good while before they started like showing up in quests and we started interacting with them as characters, so just giving them all a chance to say hi early. When our comrades betrayed us, I feared all was lost. How wrong I was. We must tell the children at once. They've always been so fond of Hori. I can see why. Nothing like a homecoming to lift everyone's spirits. Thanks for bringing them back, Derman. You bet. I mean, I mostly just went and said hi to them, but sure. And there they are at last. Thank the 12. No, I'm not targeting the farthest thing away, game. Please. Alien, Ethamy, it fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what of Higiri? She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. Yeah, I love seeing the little, like, relationships and friendships and connections and stuff that are just happening in the background here, too. Like, this Clemens Enner thing was not something I was aware of at all until literally 2 minutes ago. Because I wasn't paying attention. It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphino. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalymo, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. Of course. Steamed staff or a cookie? This is not a difficult choice. Granted, this one actually helps me in battle, but this one is a cookie. Alphino's eager to return to the search for Minfilia. Me too. Thancred and Kryl contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray into Castrum Meridianum bore fruit. They ask that we rendezvous with them and Y'shtola in Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor, I expect she'll forgive me if I return with her daughter. I expect so. Let's go. Can you hold down the fort? What are you still doing here? They're waiting for you in Idleshire. You're right, sorry. I'm going. Hello, Idleshire again. And hello to you. 'Twas rather less than I'd hoped, though mayhap I asked too much. Less good news? How is Flemin, by the way? Enchanting as ever, I trust. I shall have to pay my respects when time allows. That's much better than whatever kind of attention you were paying back in Realm Reborn. My apologies. I see I'm the last to arrive. So, what news have you for us? Well, as we postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the Ultima weapon's destruction, a ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believe Hydaelyn shielded me with the Blessing of Light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Silde Aqueducts. There we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect of a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn. There's no other explanation. But there's more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2 but 3 beings had been affected. Yet unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now, recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in a sea of ether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that when communing with Hydaelyn, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Y'shtola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You are implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her body and soul unto the ethereal sea. In which case, we must needs continue our search there. For a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Sharlayan construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower? I had no idea. Then our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. Perfect. Any chance to go see Matoya is an opportunity I will take. Let's go. In fact, why don't I speed this up a little bit? And here we are. Into the cave we go. To see a friend and ask for another favor. Hello, frogs. Hello, brooms. Hello, you. Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Though it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the ethereal sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? Who do you think? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. If that is no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted the title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed, save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going or not? Oh, easier than I expected. We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. We'll see about that. Derman can go. Take the magicless rogue, too, if you like. He's no use to me. The rest of you will stay and work, and I'll hear no argument. Those are my terms. Oh, and I should be delighted to accompany you. Lead the way, Derman. Thancred, no. Your etheric flow has been compromised. Do not deny it. To venture into an environment so thick with ether, so close to the ethereal sea, would be to risk further impairment, or worse. But Minfilia could be in there waiting for us. And you could die. And for what? If she's waiting beyond, Derman will find her. Trust in him. Have faith. Damn it all. Bring her back to us. I'm on the job. It's dungeon time, everyone. Just a regular dungeon. Not like a raid or any other complicated thing. Let me get a few friends and let's charge in there. Here we go, got us a group. Nice small group. And lots of familiar faces. We got Ellis as our warrior tank, Mise as our white mage healer, and Kunoa as our red mage fellow damage dealer. It's weird just having 4 people after all the raids I've been recording. Anyway, into the Antitower we go. In all of creation, what greater mystery could there be than the fate of this very star? To sound the deepest depths, to study the ethereal sea itself. For these purposes and more was the Antitower built. Abandoned by her Sharlayan caretakers following the Exodus, it has since been overrun by the magical guardians they left behind. Yet were one blessed with her gift to brave these dangers and descend to the furthest reaches, to hear, feel, and think at the heart of this world, what would they find? What indeed? Let's find out! It's a very pretty one here. Upside Down Castle. Which is itself kind of a Final Fantasy IX callback, in a way, if you think about it. But also, Final Fantasy IV fans are going to have a fun little treat to look forward to in here. Let's rock! Let's rock and see if I can remember how to play Dragoon. There we are. Boing. Hello, Frog. Stand aside. We've an upside-down castle to visit. Ooh, our first boss. What's your name? Zurorogo. Beak Frog.
Croak, who dares approach the tower? One with ears to listen? How wonderful.
Let's see if I can remember how this fight goes. Yeah. Well, I don't want to stand in that. That much I remember. Also, there's bubbles. Again, after recording so many raids and rather high difficulty content lately, it's quite nice being able to just record something where you can kind of wing it, and you'll probably be okay. Finish it. There we go. It's not easy being Croak. Good joke. Forward. Into the lower reaches. Where it's getting very chaotic and magical. Matoya just has this under her house all the time. But now I believe it is time for boss number 2, Ziggy, who does have a little bit of a mechanic to him.
Ziggy, save everyone! Ziggy hero!
So the main thing you gotta watch out with Ziggy here is first, there's Stardust. These big rocks. You need to take out the big rocks. See the big expanding danger puddle around them? You gotta do damage to the rocks so that the puddles don't keep expanding. Because you don't want to have the puddles just fill the entire darn space. That would be very bad for everyone involved. You do want the rocks, though. You need the rocks. Because there's going to be another move that Ziggy's going to do. Which I think they're doing on, yep, just a big blast attack. They're targeting Kanoa here. And Kanoa needs to hide behind the rocks. Or else get very hurt. And that's pretty much the mechanic. Oop, I am the one who is target. Hide. Hide again. Continue hiding. Behind rocks. Oh, one more time. Okay, keep hiding. Still, oh, I'm free. Okay, finish it. And there we go. Ziggy is defeated. And now here we are in a little upside down building, which I love, with little wind up enemies. All right, and now for the last boss of the bunch.
We are Calcabrina. Adorable dolls. Terrible dolls. Yip-ho-ho.
This is the Final Fantasy IV reference of which I spoke. It's a boss in 4. Hello. Everyone ready? Ready to get psyched and go do a fight? So, we start with just a whole bunch of Calcas and Brinas, which must all be burned down to the best of our ability. Not a whole lot of health on them. Yeah, but also there's lots of puddles around them that you want to look out for. Impressively, it's just as unsettling a fight in Final Fantasy IV on the Super Nintendo. But then, once you take them all out, the dolls begin to gather. And the big Ultra Doll arrives, which is a mostly standard fight. She's now defended on all sides but one. We all have to attack from the front, temporarily. But at a certain point, we'll probably want to move. Now would be a good time. Because now the main mechanic of this fight, 2 of us have been dolled and do not control ourselves anymore. We're just spinning and twirling. And Big Doll's gonna keep on just ground slamming everywhere until everyone's been freed. And I think, yes, okay, everyone's free now. So the fight resumes. So yeah, not too hard of a fight. But it does have some little gimmicks to it, and just a very fun retro Final Fantasy throwback. We win! What is wrong with you, Charlians? Who is in charge of creating these defenses? I hope they got a scolding. Anyway, we win. Thank you very much to my little party here. Konoha, Ellis, Mise, you all did great. Thank you ever so much. A nice, smooth run, which I can always appreciate. Hey, I stocked up on a few little items for just such occasions as these. Use one. Oh, maybe I don't know how to use these things. Oh, no, I do. I have a little sparkler now. It's a firework, see? It's a little smaller than what I was, like, expecting to use. Maybe, there we go. Proper fireworks, that's better. Anyway, let's get ourselves back out there to the story, huh?
Hear, feel, think. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the Mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we had lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power
is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
Thank the 12!
Did you find her? Did you find Minfilia?
The word of the mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Minfilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Minfilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together.
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No. No, this is all wrong.
Be seeing you later. 'Tis a blessed few who get to choose how and when and for what they die. Not that you need reminding, I suppose, but that boy, for all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there's a cosmic justice, a morality by which we are saved or condemned, and there isn't. You okay? She's not coming back, is she? She did what she thought was best. I know that. I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifices, the loss. I don't have an answer for you. Well, that was a lot. Let's go ahead and digest, and I will be with you all next time to continue the 3.2 story. Take care, all of you, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.